because I know you're getting hungry. And I know Mr. Skarmoutsos, being a chef, has to feed people. Thank you, Yannis, for inviting me. Thank you for this excellent, for the excellent presentations we heard today. I am part of a wonderful panel, and I call this panel wonderful because in my opinion it represents what we need for the next day, for the day after. The partnership between the state and the private sector, something we're not used to in the past few decades in our country. Cooperation between the health sector, the university sector, the businessmen, things that we know in theory, but quite often we cannot use that in practice. Always at university, I had difficulties with SWOT analysis because you have a weakness, but maybe this is what can turn into a comparative advantage, actually. So at this point, we heard repeatedly during the previous panel from ministers that this is a conjuncture of change. I refer to that in the SWOT analysis. This is the time when we need to turn our weaknesses into advantages, into strengths. And we can do that through the financing models that we have. Again, we have a bad history as a country. We should not be ashamed of recognizing that, is the bad exploitation of funds. We should understand what the problem is in order to improve the situation. It's not the first time we get funds of the kind, but this is the first time we actually have the know-how and the partnerships. We have everything we need to make a difference and to turn all these threats into opportunities, all the weaknesses into strengths. So this is a key, this is an accelerator. These are things that we've known for the past few decades, and now we can accomplish things very quickly in the near future. Listening to the previous speakers, I felt some mixture of concern and optimism. The challenges ahead are huge. The responsibility of various people, again, whether in the private or the public sector, is huge, no matter where they come from. There are a lot of things we need to take into account. I saw earlier on, we were celebrating the increase in exports, which is fantastic for the Greek economy. On the other hand, I think that there's some sort of protection. Could it be that this deprives us of local consumption? Is that useful? Is that the road we want to take? There are some very crucial questions we need to answer. Of course, we need the exports, but how do we do that? Where do we export? And we need to look into that the same way we examine the imports, because we cannot import meat from Latin America, no matter how much we like it. In the future, possibly this is going to cost so much, and there will be fines to such an extent that this will not be sustainable. The European family, because I participate in HOTREC, in the executive committee representing restaurants, and we're talking about more than 2 million enterprises, businesses. We discussed the strategy of the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork, in which we participated with the European Commission, and we still work together because all these programs are in progress and they set the tone, they show us the path we need to, the road we need to take. But we should not think that we start from scratch, especially when it comes to the Farm to Fork. The hotel chamber started in 2012 with the Greek Breakfast Initiative, an initiative that because of my own age in the past few years, has not been promoted that much, because this is an effort of essence, not marketing. But the impact is multiplying. And if tourism wants to survive the next day, we need to have this multiplier effect. What do we mean by that? We can't have Gouda from the Netherlands for the Greek breakfast. Same logic, same rationale as the meat that I mentioned from Latin America earlier on. The types of cheese that we have, 15 categories that we need in order for a hotel to be labeled as a hotel that serves a Greek breakfast. You understand that that is translated into 1,300 restaurants certified for the Greek breakfast in our country. And something that seemed distant back in 2013 is actually happening today. We try to reduce distances. It's a very difficult effort. At this point, we have 41 local agreements between the hotelier and the producers. Certifications take place through a FET. As I said, 15 products are certified. I'm not going to mention all of them, but the Greek coffee, the Greek bread, tsoureki, the buns, the Greek honey, marmalade. There you are. I think I'm citing more than I had in mind. The traditional pies, and so on and so forth. These are part of our history. This is what we carry with us in the various destinations, tourist destinations, and we all recognize the wealth that we have in the gastronomy, travel for both the Greeks and the foreigners. No one will go to a foreign country without wanting to taste the local dishes. This is one of the main reasons people travel, and we are fortunate enough in Greece to have not only, as mentioned earlier on, very good raw materials, but very good efforts by people like Chef Skarmoutsos who know how to use that. And this is where partnerships lie. What we do need to change in the models, in the restaurants, in hotels, is not to cook what we want it to cook, but it's what we produce at the time. So the menu should be seasonal. There should be no tomatoes in December. This should be part of our everyday reality. These are things we need to believe, because there are other people that realize that before we do. I have another 2 minutes left, so it's with great pleasure as the president of the hotel chamber that I received Natalia, a distinguished chef in Crete. She's been in Crete for 15 weeks, and there are Israelis coming to Crete for 15 weeks now, back-to-back visits of people that want to taste the Greek food. I visited villages I did not know they existed. There were Israeli chefs who came there and there were old women from the villages that wanted to cook traditional pies with them. This is the change of model we're looking for. This is what we opt for. This is what the Greek hotels should try to achieve. The numbers I'm giving you amazing, because we're not talking about American breakfast. 1,400 hotels out of 10,000. This is amazing, because this is certification. This is an increase in the cost of purchase, and this is where the difficulty lies. I was in Kavala in northern Greece at a meeting there for the Greek breakfast, for the local agreement there, and I realized 5 years after having a hotel in the area that Kavala produces very good quality asparagus and kiwi, and I did not know that, although I had a hotel in the area. These are things we need to solve, and these are challenges we have ahead, but I believe that through initiatives of the kind and through the partnerships of the various sectors, we saw excellent examples from the Netherlands. I'm certain that we will be able to do that. Thank you.